Attention passionate Kansas City CHIFS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Kansas City Chiefs' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Kansas City Chiefs fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Kansas City CHIFS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you're a Chiefs fan, you already know the NFL is a brutal business. It's a league where yesterday's hero can become today's afterthought in the blink of an eye. They say it's not for long for a reason, because no matter how beloved or how productive a player might be, teams are always on the lookout for younger, cheaper talent. It's the harsh reality of the salary cap era, a constant balancing act between maintaining a competitive roster and managing finances that seem to grow exponentially year after year. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, who have built what many are calling a modern dynasty in the last few seasons, this situation is very real and very pressing. Let's start by talking about the elephant in the room, Patrick Mahomes. The franchise quarterback, the man who's transformed the Chiefs from perennial playoff contenders into Super Bowl champions, has a contract that's starting to hit the team's salary cap hard. This year, his cap hit is around $28 million, which is manageable, but as we look ahead, it's a different story. Over the next few years, Mahomes' deal will see jumps to $78 million, then $74 million, and finally $42 million in the subsequent seasons. These numbers are astronomical, even for a team with the kind of financial flexibility that the Chiefs have enjoyed. Naturally, that puts a lot of pressure on the front office to find value elsewhere, especially in the lower parts of the roster where they can get the most bang for their buck. And that's where the draft comes into play, folks. The Chiefs have always been shrewd in their talent evaluation, especially in the later rounds. Remember the 2022 draft? When they found Jalen Watson at pick 243, the 243rd overall selection in the 7th round, a pick that many teams might have seen as just a throwaway. But for Kansas City, it turned into gold. Watson not only made the team but quickly became a key contributor. He played in all 16 games during his rookie season, starting 6 of them, and logged over 750 defensive snaps. That's impressive for a 7th-round pick. But what truly caught everyone's attention was that incredible play, a 99-yard pick six that instantly became one of the most memorable moments of the season. It was the stuff of fairy tales, a late-round gem shining bright in the NFL spotlight. But as we all know, fairy tales don't last forever. The clock is ticking on Watson's rookie contract, which means his future with the Chiefs is now uncertain. That final year of his rookie deal is looming, and with Mahomes' massive contract taking up so much of the salary cap, the team is under serious pressure to make smart moves to keep their roster intact. The question is, will the Chiefs be able to hold on to Watson, or will financial constraints force them to part ways? It's a tough call, but one thing is for sure, Kansas City isn't sitting idly by. They know they need to rebuild and reinforce their secondary if they want to stay competitive. And rebuild they did. Knowing that they might lose Watson, the Chiefs made a proactive move by signing Christian Fulton to a 2-year, $20 million deal. Fulton, who played last season with the Los Angeles Chargers, is expected to step into a starting role opposite Trent McDuffie, who's already established himself as a lockdown corner for the team. Fulton brings experience and stability to the position, and his signing signals the Chiefs, intent to contend now while also planning for the future. But Kansas City didn't stop there. They went all in during the draft, trading up in the 3rd round to select Noel Williams from California. Williams is a physical pressman corner who fits perfectly into Steve Spagnuolo's aggressive defensive scheme. He's raw, yes, but has long-term upside written all over him. The Chiefs are clearly investing in young talent, trying to create a depth chart that can sustain them through future seasons. Now, for Watson, things are getting tight. The competition in the cornerback room is fierce and crowded. Fulton's arrival and Williams' drafting mean that Watson's spot on the team is no longer guaranteed. Every player in the NFL knows that in this league, opportunity is fleeting, and every camp is a battle. With training camp just around the corner, Watson is on the clock. It's a classic Cinderella story, from late-round pick to potential starter, to possibly being squeezed out by the team's strategic moves and cap considerations. And for Chiefs fans, this is a reminder that the NFL is always evolving. The team that's on top today might be different tomorrow, especially when financial realities come into play. But what does this mean for the Chiefs overall? Well, it's part of a broader strategy. Kansas City has been remarkably successful in recent years, winning Super Bowl LIV and making deep playoff runs consistently. Their secret? A blend of incredible talent, innovative coaching, and smart roster management. Patrick Mahomes' brilliance at quarterback is the cornerstone, but they've also built a strong supporting cast around him, guys like Travis Kelce, who's arguably the best tight end in the league, and a defense that's been improving steadily under Spagnuolo. The Chiefs' roster management issues are not unique, but they highlight how difficult it is to maintain excellence in this league. Every year, teams face the challenge of replacing aging stars, managing cap hits, and developing young talent. Kansas City's front office has shown time and again that they're willing to make bold moves, whether that's trading draft picks to move up or signing underrated players who can fill specific roles. Their success in drafting late-round gems like Watson and then turning those picks into impact players is a testament to their talent evaluation prowess. Looking at the team's recent draft history, it's clear that the Chiefs prioritize versatile players who can adapt to multiple roles. This season, the focus on the secondary is especially telling. Cornerback is a premium position, and with the NFL evolving into a league of high-powered passing attacks, having a lockdown secondary can be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. The addition of Fulton and Williams indicates that Kansas City is not resting on its laurels. They're constantly looking for ways to improve, to stay ahead of the curve. And let's not forget about the broader context. The AFC West is becoming more competitive than ever. The Denver Broncos, after acquiring Russell Wilson, are looking to bounce back from a tough season. The Las Vegas Raiders are in flux, trying to find stability after some high-profile moves. The Los Angeles Chargers, led by Justin Herbert, are always a threat offensively. So for the Chiefs, every little move counts. They can't afford to be complacent because every team in the division is hungry and trying to dethrone them. This ongoing roster shuffle, especially in the secondary, is critical. It's a chess match, and Kansas City is making strategic moves to stay on top. The defensive improvements, particularly in the back end, will be crucial for their success in 2024. The AFC is stacked, and teams are investing heavily in their pass defenses. The Chiefs recognize that to keep their Super Bowl window open, they need a secondary that can hold up against the best quarterbacks in the league, from Mahomes' AFC rivals to the top-tier quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes himself, who continues to redefine what's possible at the position. Now, some fans might ask, what does this mean for the upcoming season? Well, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, Kansas City has one of the most potent offenses in the league, led by Mahomes, Kelce, and a supporting cast that's arguably the best in the NFL. On the other hand, their defense, particularly the secondary, will be under a microscope. The moves they're making suggest they're serious about upgrading that unit, but it's always a work in progress. Training camp will be the real test, seeing how these new pieces gel, how the young players develop, and whether the team can sustain the high level of performance that's become their trademark. In terms of expectations, Chiefs fans are naturally optimistic, but also realistic. They understand that the NFL is a league of constant change, where injuries, scheme adjustments, and unexpected breakout stars can have a huge impact. Still, with Mahomes at the helm, Kansas City remains a favorite to contend for the AFC title once again. The question is, how will these roster moves, especially in the secondary, influence their playoff run? Will they have enough firepower on defense to complement their explosive offense? That remains to be seen, but the signs point to a team that is still hungry, still ambitious, and still willing to do whatever it takes to stay at the top. And speaking of Mahomes, he's not just a player, he's the heartbeat of this team. His ability to improvise, extend plays, and elevate his teammates sets him apart. The way he's handled the pressure of a huge contract and the expectations that come with it is a testament to his maturity and leadership. His chemistry with Kelce, his understanding of the game, and his relentless drive make him a once-in-a-generation talent. As he continues to evolve, the Chiefs are betting that he can carry them even further, possibly to another Super Bowl victory. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and the AFC West is arguably the most competitive division right now. Every team is investing heavily, trying to find that edge. Kansas City's strategy has always been about smart roster management, leveraging their draft capital, and developing young talent. The moves they've made recently, especially in the secondary, show they're serious about staying ahead of the curve. They know that the league's best teams are often built on a foundation of solid defense, complemented by an elite offense led by a superstar quarterback. It's worth noting that the Chiefs' front office has a history of making bold, sometimes risky, moves that pay off. Remember when they traded up to get Patrick Mahomes in the first round in 2017? Or when they signed free agents that became key contributors? Their ability to identify undervalued players and turn them into difference makers is what sets them apart. And with the secondary now a focus, it's clear they're once again trying to hit a home run. For fans, this is a thrilling time. The anticipation of training camp, the hope that young players will step up, and the desire to see another deep playoff run are all part of the Chiefs' experience. The team's culture of resilience, innovation, and relentless pursuit of excellence continues to define them. The new additions, the strategic draft picks, and the ongoing roster battles all point to a team that's not content resting on its laurels. They're hungry for more, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep their dynasty alive. Now about the division, the AFC West, like I said earlier, is shaping up to be one of the most competitive in recent memory. The Broncos are trying to bounce back under Sean Payton, with a revamped defense and a defense looking to return to form. The Chargers, under Brandon Staley, are always a threat with Justin Herbert's arm and a talented roster. The Raiders, well, they're in a bit of a rebuild, but don't count them out, teams often surprise us when the season kicks off. In this environment, every game matters, and the Chiefs will need to be at their best, especially on defense, where these new secondary pieces will be tested right from the start. And that leads us to a crucial point, the importance of training camp. It's where all these new pieces come together, where chemistry is built, and where the team's identity is reinforced. The secondary, in particular, will be under scrutiny, and fans will be watching closely to see how Fulton, Williams, and the rest of the defense gel with the rest of the team. The stakes are high because a strong defense can make all the difference in close playoff games. The Chiefs have been successful because of their balanced approach, explosive offense, and a solid defense that steps up when it matters most. If they can improve their secondary, they'll be even more formidable. So, what's the outlook? Well, Kansas City remains a top contender, no doubt about it. Talent, the coaching, and the leadership are all there. But they're also aware that every season brings new challenges, new opponents, and new opportunities to prove themselves. The NFL is unpredictable, and injuries or unexpected breakthroughs can turn the tide quickly. That's why the team is so focused on depth, on versatility, and on smart roster management. They're playing the long game, aiming for multiple championships, and they understand that to do that, they need to adapt and evolve each year. And now, Kansas City Chiefs fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these moves? Are you confident that the team's secondary will hold up, or do you think they need to make more adjustments? Do you believe this team has what it takes to go back to the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Kansas City Chiefs. Remember, this is a fan community, and your voice helps shape the conversation. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and all the latest Kansas City Chiefs news. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this Chiefs family growing stronger every day. The NFL season is right around the corner, and the energy is palpable. The Chiefs are entering a new chapter, balancing their quest for excellence with the realities of roster management and cap constraints. But if there's one thing we know for sure, it's that Chiefs Kingdom remains as passionate as ever. They're loyal, they're loud, and they believe in this team's potential to keep making history. So, buckle up, Chiefs fans. This season promises to be another roller coaster of emotions, surprises, and hopefully, another shot at that elusive Super Bowl trophy. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the state of the Chiefs, and I'll see you soon for more news, analysis, and all the passion that makes this community so special.